Hey everyone, my name is Kenan. Welcome back to Courtside Sports Reports. So today we will start a new series. I am going to go through every single team's schedule in the NFL, and I'm going to predict their win-loss record. So today, our first video will be on the Chicago Bears. Like I said in the last video, I am a Bears fan. So I'm going to try my hardest to eliminate bias. Okay, so I'm really gonna try to, take away bias as much as I possibly can, which is hard to do, but I'm gonna try to do it. I will try to do it. Okay, so let's get started. So I'm looking here. Their schedule isn't the worst, but it really isn't great because the NFC North is a tough division. But I think, let's start off with week 1. The Detroit Lions. I'm going to talk about the Lions more when I do a video on them, although I keep saying this, and I'm going to say it again. As long as Matt Patricia is the head coach of the Detroit Lions, the Lions are not going to be good. And because of that, I think the Lions win week 1. Okay, so the week 2 against the New York Giants. Last year, they weren't very great. We beat them last year, and they're at home. They're at Soldier Fields, and this will be Daniel Jones, his first year starting for the whole season. So I just think that the Bears can pull out a win for week 2. Okay, week 3 against Atlanta. This is away at Atlanta. I think this will be a very tough game because the Atlanta Falcons, I think they'll be pretty good this year. I think I'm going to go over this when I do Atlanta, but I think the addition of Todd Gurley was a good addition. Matt Ryan is obviously a good player, and they have Julio Jones, who is, in my opinion, the best wide receiver in the National Football League. But so something tells me, I just feel like the Bears can pull it away, and with our great defense, because the Falcons have a good offense, but I think we have a better defense. So I think the defense is going to win this game for us. So yeah, I think week 3 will be a win against Atlanta. Week 4 against the Indianapolis Colts. This will be a very, very tough game because I really like the Colts this year. Which again I'm gonna go over more when I actually do the Colts. But I know they're at home, but I don't see them beating the Colts because I think the addition of Phillip Rivers is a great addition. So yeah, I think week 4 they're gonna lose to the Colts. Week 5 against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Tom Brady and the Bucs. I think that the Buccaneers are way overhyped, way overrated. And once again, I'm gonna go over that when I do the Bucs. But they are way overrated. The people are saying Super Bowl or bust. And they're not Super Bowl or bust. And again, I will go over that when I do the Buccaneers. But yeah, the Buccaneers, I don't think they're going to win the Super Bowl or anything like that. But I think they pull out. I think Tom Brady can do it because the Bears' defense is great. But I mean, it's Tom Brady. I personally am not a fan of Tom Brady at all. I don't like Tom Brady. But you gotta respect the GOAT, or one of the GOATs. Yeah, I just think Tom Brady is gonna somehow beat that defense. So I think the Buccaneers are gonna win, and I think the Bears are gonna lose week 5. Week 6 against Carolina. This is another tough game because Christian McCaffrey, man. Christian McCaffrey, that guy is a stud. But I don't know. I don't know. Because McCaffrey is great and all, but I don't know how, like, their team, I don't really think they have, like, a really well-rounded team. So, because of that, I believe the Bears can pull out a win here for Week 6. Okay, Week 7 against the Los Angeles Rams. This will also be not an easy game, but the Rams are just going like that. They're going down and down and down. Jared Goff did not have a good year last year. Todd Gurley was not part of the offense very much because he was always injured. But now he's not going to be the offense at all because he left. So, the Los Angeles Rams are going downhill. So, because of that, I believe the Bears can win Week 7 against the Rams. Okay, next week, Week 8 against the Saints. I really like the Saints this year. I think this could be their year. I think they can have a really deep playoff run this year. I do not think they'll lose to the Vikings in the first round. But I think that the Saints will win this just because, it's Drew Brees and Michael Thomas and Alvin Kamara and then a great defense. Like, it just keeps on going. Top to bottom, they have a great roster, a great team, so I think the Bears will lose this game. Okay, now Week 9, Tennessee Titans. This is a very tough game. It's in Tennessee. And Derrick Henry, where do you start with that guy? Where do you start? I think the Bears defense will play very well. But I feel like Derrick Henry is going to stiff arm his way to the Titans win and the Bears loss. So I believe that the Bears are going to lose to the Titans. Week 10 against the Vikings. This is the first game against the Vikings this year. The Vikings, I think they're going to be pretty solid this year. But I think for this year particularly, they're gonna be a little bit worse than last year just because they traded away Stephon Diggs. And I understand that they drafted Justin Jefferson, who probably would be his replacement. I think he has a lot of potential, but I don't know how big he can be. I don't think he can replace an all-pro wide receiver in his rookie year. In a few more years, yeah, I think Justin Jefferson can be a very good replacement for Stephon Diggs. But this year, I don't see it. So the Vikings are playing in Chicago at Soldier Field. So I just think it's a very tough game. But something just tells me, I just think at home, I think the Bears are going to win this game. Okay, Week 11 is their bye week. So, and then Week 12, coming out of their bye week, they're fresh, they're, ready to play. And then they're going to play Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers. I hate the Packers so much. I hate the Packers. But it's in Green Bay. It's at Lambeau Field. Whoever goes to Lambeau Field will play a tough game. It's in Green Bay. I think the Bears are going to lose this. I think Green Bay is going to pull out a win. Okay, after that, Week 13 against the Lions. It's the Lions. Again, they're never going to be good with Matt Patricia as their head coach, which I will elaborate on later when I do the Lions. So, Bears win this. That's the Texans. This will probably be one of the tougher games this year because the Texans are, going uphill. Deshaun Watson is going, Will Fuller. And then there's also Bill O'Brien. Trading away DeAndre Hopkins, one of the best wide receivers in the league, for very little return. They had a smaller return from DeAndre Hopkins than the Vikings did from Stephon Diggs. Oh my gosh, Bill O'Brien. So yeah, as long as Bill O'Brien keeps calling fake punts when they're on their own 40, when they're up by a lot, yeah, the Texans are... Yeah, I think the Bears pull out of this, and I think this is going to happen because of a stupid play Bill O'Brien called late in the game. Yeah. Okay, the week after that, at Minnesota. Tough game. I think that Minnesota will have a chip on their shoulders from the first game that they played against the Bears. So something just tells me that Kirk Cousins, Dalvin Cook, Justin Jefferson, I think they're going to have a good game. Adam Thielen. Yeah, I think that Minnesota can win this game. So, loss for the Bears. Okay, week 16. Jacksonville Jaguars. I think the Jaguars are going to be probably the worst team in the NFL. They might not have the worst record, but they might have, tied for the worst record or something like that. But just top to bottom, they're going to have the worst team. Gardner Minshew, it'll be tough. His first year actually starting. So, yeah, I don't think the Jaguars will be very good this year. So, because of that, I think that the Bears win this game. Week 17, last game of the season for the Chicago Bears against the Green Bay Packers. I think the Bears have a huge chip on their shoulders from when they lost to the Packers because I think that Week 12 game will be a very tough game. So I think they'll have a chip on their shoulders. I think they're gonna really want to play well. They're at Soldier Field. They won their last game. They are going to want to win this game. So I think they're going to come out here and have one of their best games of the season because they're saving the best for last. And I think they're going to come out of this with a win. So looking at all that, their final record is going to be 10-6. I think a lot of you guys are okay. So that's their final record, which I think that's going to be their final record. So I know a lot of you guys are going to disagree with me and think I'm biased. Yeah, maybe that's true. But let me just say a few things. The Bears had a pretty solid offseason. They made their defense a lot better by adding Robert Quinn, which, to be honest with you, I don't know how I feel about that because their defense is already Super Bowl caliber, and they paid him a lot. But regardless, their talent got better. I don't know if he's worth that $70 million. But again, their defense got better. They had a pretty good draft. I think, first of all, at tight end, the addition of Jimmy Graham. Yeah, a washed up quarterback with a no trade clause, $8 million a year. For 2 years. I hate that. But they did have a solid draft by drafting probably the best tight end in the draft, who is Cole Kmet. People are saying that's a bad pick, which I disagree, because everyone is saying they need to fix their tight end position. We drafted the best tight end in the draft. What's wrong? And then after looking at why people are skeptical of this pick, it's because now we have 10 tight ends in the roster. But I don't really care about that because how many of them are going to actually make the team when the season starts? They're probably going to cut half of them anyways. So it really doesn't matter if they have 10 tight ends now in the off season. It matters what their roster looks like going into the season. So yeah, I think they're going to cut a lot of those players. And then finally, the addition of Nick Foles. I like it a lot. I like that addition a lot because Nick Foles is very familiar with Matt Nagy's system. I like the addition of Nick Foles. And even if Trubisky wins the competition against Foles, which the chances of that happening are pretty much nothing. But if it happens, then I feel like Trubisky will be good next year if he wins the competition. Just because I feel like Trubisky had a bad year last year, just because he knew that he would be the starting quarterback. Because the backup last year was Chase Daniel, and everybody in Chicago knew that Chase Daniel would never start over Trubisky. So, and even Trubisky knew that. Trubisky knew that no matter how bad he plays that year, last year, he'd still be the starter because there's no competition. But this year, he knows that if he plays bad, there's somebody right behind him ready to take his job. So I think that'll motivate him to do better. Or if he does not win the competition, then Nick Foles would start, which I like that because people are saying, oh, Nick Foles isn't good, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, last year he did get injured, but God, do you remember a few years ago when he was the Super Bowl MVP? He was a backup and he led the team to the Super Bowl. Nick Foles is a good quarterback. So, and I really like that addition. So, yeah, I like Nick Foles. So, because of that, I think the Bears can do good this year. And at wide receiver, they also cut Taylor Gabriel. And I think Anthony Miller will have a breakout year this year. Because he'll get more looks now. And I think Allen Robinson, he's been going up and up and up every single year. I think he makes the Pro Bowl this year. I think he has a great season. And David Montgomery, he was a rookie last year, had a pretty good season, which, these young guys are getting better and better. I think that's the case for David Montgomery. So I like the Bears this year. I think 10-6 is a very fair record. Yeah, I think 10-6 is a very fair record. And if you think otherwise, comment down below. I'm always looking to see what you guys think. And before we sign off, I'm just saying if you like this video, if you think you're ready for this series, please go down, like the video. If you like our channel, please go down and subscribe. Subscribe to our channel because if you do that, it's just all gonna get better. Because and then we're always looking for comments. Please comment down below. What do you like about it? What do you like about it? We'll continue doing it about our channel. That is, if whatever you don't like about our channel, we will change it. So whatever feedback or criticism that you have, comment down below or DM us on Instagram. Also, go follow our Instagram because that will let you know when videos come out. So, thanks guys. I hope you enjoyed. Next up is the Green Bay Packers, just to let you know. Goodbye.